Hey guys, it's Faye from Solar Flow, and I am back with a new video. Today's topic is all about meditation. So if this sounds like an interesting topic to you, please stick around, and if not, I will catch you at another video. So first and foremost, this is a topic that you guys have been requesting, and we're going to go there. I do just want to let you know in advance that this is not a guided meditation video. I will probably do one at one point. However, I'm going to arm you with a lot of tips and tricks in this video for you to implement if you have been struggling to cultivate any sort of a meditation practice, or if you have been struggling to do it on a consistent basis. I'm going to give you a lot of tips herein that will help. And if it doesn't for any reason, you can let me know down below. And who knows, maybe a Sunday special video in the future will be a guided meditation. And also, if you guys have any topics that you do want me to explore and discuss in a Sunday special, comment down below, let me know. So Sunday Special is a new series that I am working on right now, which are videos on Sunday. They are not the traditional exploration of things behind the veil, but it is lifestyle topics that we can explore together that will help you raise your vibration and help you live maybe help you implement tools that will help you have a more high vibration life. All right, so with that in mind, let's dive in. So first and foremost, I'm going to share my own experiences with you guys as they pertain to meditation. And I will also share with you what I personally have gotten out of it, as well as giving you tips for yourself and what you can implement. So first and foremost, I have been meditating almost on a daily basis for the last 2 years since I had gone through my spiritual awakening. Prior to that, in 2009, I was actually doing my second yoga teacher training, and we were asked to cultivate a daily meditation practice at that time. And I'm going to be very candid with you guys. I did not give in. I did not surrender to meditation. And now I can honestly say, I think I know what was holding me back, which was meditation is a process in which you will come to understand and know yourself in a much more meaningful and beneficial way. And at that time, for whatever reason, I was not willing to peel back all of the layers and examine myself and see myself in a different kind of a way. So everything is very much by divine timing, whereas I, for whatever reason, was not willing to do it back then, or not ready to do it back then, but was very much ready and willing to start the practice into 2021. I think it was actually even maybe the end of 2020. That's a video for another day. If you want to have a discussion about spiritual awakenings, that can also probably be a Sunday special, not this Sunday, however. So here's a few things that I've discovered through meditation of how they have benefited me, which is first and foremost, I'm going to share very, very candidly that it has helped me astronomically. I cannot even quantify how much it has helped me in terms of my own personal anxiety. And I have struggled on and off with anxiety for a number of years. And I've also been through, on 2 different periods of my life, I've been on different anti-anxiety medications. Through the process of waking up, did kind of realize like that's, it's synthetic. And do I really want to be putting that stuff into my body? Do I really want to be messing with my brain chemistry with something that's synthetic? And for me, the answer was no. So I did take myself off of them. And when I have not been so consistent with my meditation, my anxiety is a lot worse. But when I am doing it on a daily basis for however long I do it for, I can tell you that I almost don't even remember when I am consistently meditating. I almost don't even remember that I have anxiety. I can tell you that I don't even remember that I've ever had it. That's how beneficial it has been for me. It has also been one of the best tools in understanding myself in a more meaningful way. So there's this expression, I think it's actually a quote, the unexamined life is not worth living. And through meditation, it has given me the tools that I need to come to understand myself in a more meaningful way. Through the process of meditation, I've also had the ability to become first aware of, and then strengthen my gifts and abilities. And I know that's something that a lot of you guys are actually curious about as well. And I'm going to tell you that is through meditation. You will become aware of your gifts and you will be able to strengthen them as well. Some other things that it has helped me with is in understanding what are my personal triggers so that I can address them and explore, first of all, where did this trigger come from? Is this something that is learned? Is this, whatever the case may be, where did it come from? Does it serve me any longer? Do I want to continue to hold on to it? And 10 out of 10 times, the answer is no. This is an antiquated response that I have from something else in my life. It's not serving me any longer. I want to let it go. So the way I kind of look at meditation is imagine you have the latest iPhone, but you don't have the latest iPhone software on your phone. So you might have an iPhone, I don't know what they're up to now, 14, but it still has iOS 1 on it. So through the process of meditation, you will actually be able to upgrade your own internal software, so to say, and that will propel you forward in your life in a much more meaningful way. And when I've kind of like looked at meditation in the past, it was shown to me as, think of the way that we understand a nuclear bomb to be, right? So it's kind of like that mushroom shape with a cloud. Now imagine right after the bomb goes off, so first you have the transference of the energy that goes up, and then it creates that mushroom shape. So in the past, when I've actually looked at meditation, it was shown to me as if a nuclear bomb was going off, but it was getting zipped right back in. So it comes up, it goes out, and then instantaneously, the external part of the mushroom, the top part of it, is pulled back in, and the entire thing is pulled down. And then imagine a zipper zips it all back in, and everything is contained. So there is no nuclear fallout. So I thought, well, this is very interesting. I'd like to understand this a little bit more. So I asked for clarification on what does this exactly mean? And it was explained to me that meditation is the reverse of a nuclear bomb going off. And a nuclear bomb is, one way of looking at it is, it's a physical manifestation of an extreme release of energy. But not all extreme releases of energy are positive, especially certainly not a nuclear bomb going off. But there's always going to be a fallout when there is such a release of this kind of an energy. And what if we have the ability prior to the bomb going off in our own life, maybe it's through our own reactions to certain things, but if we have the ability in our own life to examine what are the triggers, prior to the bomb going off, that we can then prevent the bomb from going off, or we can learn how to best, or better, how we can learn to better direct the release of energy where it is not going to be a harmful or damaging release of energy. And that is very much what the process of meditation is. And then every time that I'm sitting down to record a video, just prior to it, I will actually sit down and I will actually meditate. And when I was sitting down to meditate, prior to sitting down right now to record, there's a lot of sitting downs in there, but I actually was asked if there was anything in addition that I could be shown that would be beneficial for the sharing of the information in this video. And I heard the words pulse of life come in, that meditation is the pulse of life. And I said, this is also very interesting. Can you give me additional clarification on what does the pulse of life mean as it pertains to meditation? And I was shown it's exactly that. We all have a pulse. What is your own particular pulse that you want to have? Do you want to have an explosive pulse? Do you want to have a thoughtful pulse? Do you want to have a balanced pulse? Whatever is the pulse of life that you yourself want to have, you can discover what it is through your meditation practice, which is, again, a way of saying you will come to understand yourself in a way that you did not understand yourself prior to the practice of meditation. And will actually be able to then, once you understand yourself better, start to unpack all of the things that you think comprise who you are, evaluate them, and say, is this serving me, or can I let this go? Or is this serving me, but maybe this needs a little bit more work so that it can best be utilized in my life? So I thought that that was really, really an interesting kind of addition to it, that meditation is the pulse of life. Now, that's about 10 minutes of talking about meditation. So now I'm going to start to actually share with you what are some personal tips and tricks that I have used in my own personal meditation practice that have benefited me greatly. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to start with this. If you went to a dance club and there was a guy in a wheelchair with 2 broken legs, would you say to him, get up and dance? No, because that would be a physical impossibility for him. So just from a very, very physical, 3-dimensional sense, sitting down and meditating for some people can be akin to that. So I'm going to share with you, number one thing that has always helped me is move your body prior to sitting down to meditate. And I will also tell you that anyone who has ever been to a yoga class, you are going to leave there and you're going to be like, I feel so good. My muscles feel so stretched. I feel fantastic. I feel so balanced. The entire purpose of actual yoga is not the physical. That's like a secondary byproduct of the yoga practice. But the actual intent and purpose of sitting down, of the entire yoga, is so that you will have the ability to sit down and meditate. I kid you not. That is why people do yoga, so that they can meditate thereafter. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to say, whatever your form of yoga is, do that prior to sitting down and meditating. So if you want to do yoga, do yoga. If you like to lift weights, if you like to swim, if you like to dance, if you like to skip, jump, hop, run, do jumping jacks in your living room, whatever it is for you, do that prior to sitting down to meditate. You will thank me. More importantly, you will thank yourself, because you will see how much easier the physical act of actually sitting down to meditate is once you have moved your body first. So, number one, move your body. Number two, have a healthy expectation of what is going to happen when you sit down to meditate. And to that end, I'm going to first explain to you that the biggest misconception about meditation is, when I sit down to meditate, I will be able to clear my mind. Oh, no, that is not the way it works. That is also akin to telling somebody with 2 broken legs, stand up and dance. It is a physical impossibility. Similarly, by telling people the purpose of sitting down to meditate is to quiet their mind, okay, how? So the way in which we can first quiet our mind is to become aware of the thoughts that are in our mind. We all have computers in our pocket by way of our cell phone. So we have cell phones. With our cell phones, we have the ability to surf the internet. We have text messages that are coming in or that need to be sent. We have WhatsApp messages coming in or that we need to send. We have emails coming in or that we need to send. We have social media that we are curious about or that we want to respond to. We have all of those things that are competing for our attention, in addition to whatever else we are doing at any given time. So if you're working, that's in addition to work. If you're making dinner, if you're caring for children, if you're getting ready to go to sleep, whatever the case may be, our physical attention is our brains are basically like Gumby, and they're being pulled in a million different directions and stretched to the max. So how else are we going to give ourselves the opportunity to become aware of what are the thoughts that are actually going on in our mind that we are not even aware of if we're not sitting down to meditate? So have the expectation when you are sitting down to meditate that I am going to become aware of what is the thoughts that are going on in my mind, or what are the thoughts that are competing for my attention but I am not slowing down and therefore I don't have the ability to see, or what are some things that will benefit me that I am currently not seeing right now. Whatever you want to let the intention be, what will always help is to set an intention prior to sitting down and meditating, and then allowing whatever comes up during that time, even if it doesn't seem like it's in line with that intention, it will be. Which is going to take me to point number 3. Have a notebook with you so that way when you come out of your meditation, you can document whatever it is that came up. Because you might have things that come through to you and you're thinking, well, this is not in any way, shape, or form connected to the intention that I had set. But what if the thoughts that are coming in, it's kind of like pieces of a puzzle. And it's only once you have all of those pieces in your hand that you can start to sort through them and put everything into its proper place. So the act of having a notebook so that you can document all of your thoughts is giving you all of the pieces of the puzzle that you can now start to sort and put together. So I am a really, really big proponent and big fan of having some sort of way to document the thoughts that are coming through for you in your meditation. Number, I think 4, I'm not sure what I'm actually up to. And here's the thing. This is the big one. Especially when you're first starting a meditation practice. Set a timer for 7 to 10 minutes. That is it. That's it. Early on, you actually do not even need longer than that. Early on, you might not even want to sit for longer than that. It's very, very hard for someone that does not have any sort of a meditation practice to sit down and just exist with their own thoughts for more than 7 to 10 minutes, and you frankly don't need it. Set a timer, 7 to 10 minutes, do that every day for a month, and watch how your life will begin to change. Once you are on the other side of a month-long meditation practice where you have been doing that consistently, then you can turn your timer off, and then you can allow your mind to just take you wherever it wants to go. But early on, 7 to 10 minutes is honestly all you need. And allow whatever comes up to come up for you. So there's this great scene in the movie Eat, Pray, Love where the Julia Roberts character is in an ashram and she goes into the meditation room and she sits down and she's like, I'm going to sit here for an hour. I can do it. I know that I can. And then suddenly she's aware of like, oh, I have this itch, or oh, I think I hear a bug in the room, or oh, this hurts, or that. And she's thinking, I can't meditate. See, this is just proof that I can't do it. No, that is the beginning process of meditation. It's becoming aware of all of those things. It's becoming aware of the fact that maybe you have an itch on your hand. It's becoming aware of the fact that maybe there's something externally in your environment that you're hearing and it's taking your mind away. It's becoming aware of the fact that maybe something in your body is bothering you. Because when else are you going to give yourself the time to become aware of all of these things? We are so overstimulated in our day-to-day modern day life. How else will you ever become aware of all of these things if not for 10 minutes a day to sit and become aware of all of those things? That's it. 7 to 10 minutes. Okay? Now, once you're on the other side of doing this consistently for a month, then the intentionality of you sitting down can actually start to change, where you can start to explore your gifts and abilities. Okay, so that's one of the ways in which I actually was able to start to come to become better acquainted with my gifts and abilities was through meditation. But again, it was only after I had been consistently doing it for a month, 7 to 10 minutes every single day, consistently for a month. I know I'm repeating that a lot. There's a reason, y'all. But every day, again, I'm going to say it consistently, sitting down 7 to 10 minutes every day for a month, okay? Only after I had done that, and I was becoming very well acquainted with, here's another example. And I think I've given this in some of my other videos, but imagine you are on your phone And you're not closing, you think you're closing your browsers, right? You're not closing your browsers, you're just minimizing them. And when we have all of these open browsers going on for any prolonged period of time, the device itself is going to start to suffer the consequences. It's not going to run as smoothly, it's going to be slower, right? Okay, so it's only once you are actually closing the browsers and not just minimizing them are you making space for other things to come in. But because if you are not closing them, i.e., you have all of these thoughts going on in your mind and you're not even aware of them, except when you're, let's say, laying down to go to sleep and then you're, God damn it, my mind won't shut off. It's only once you are closing them all down can you then create space to bring new things in. So, through the process of meditation, once I actually was able to start to have those periods of complete quiet where I realized, wow, I've actually given attention to everything that my mind wants me to become aware of. I've taken it out, I've unpacked it, I've given it the necessary attention that it needs. Now I can close it and I can put it away. And now I have all of the space in my mind. It's so quiet. Wow, what do I want to bring in? That was when I started to create a dialogue with my guides, my guardian angels, and my higher self. That was when I actually started to say, the intention was no longer, what am I not seeing in my day to day that would be beneficial for me to see? But then the intention started to become, how can I better access my gifts and ability? How can I better come to understand when something is coming through that it is my guides and it's not my actual thoughts? How can I learn how to differentiate them? How can I know when my guides are actually with me? And to that, I'm actually going to say, if anybody's actually curious, so they're actually always with you. We just don't know that they're always with us, but they're always with us. But then it became, I want to learn how, I want a physical sign that they're actually with me right now. So all of those things can actually start to come in once we have closed down all of the browsers in our open mind, that we can bring space for all of these other things to come in. But again, 7 to 10 minutes every single day, consistently. Set a timer, keep a notebook, jot down whatever comes in. And I actually think I had shared this, and I'll link the video down below, but I think I had actually shared this in my video on 3 weeks to change your life and raise your vibration. That even in the beginning days of my meditating, right, when I had my notebook next to me, I would come out of meditation and I would jot down like whatever it is that I had seen. And once I was on the other side of it, and once I was actually, specifically on the other side of the 30 days, where I was then sitting down to become more acquainted with my gifts and abilities and to be shown things that connected to it, did I actually even come to understand that a lot that I was being shown in those original days connected to it. But if not for me keeping notes and having something that I could reflect back on at a later date, I never would have even known that. So many things were actually being shown to me in the early days that specifically connected. And that is what allowed me to understand that your guides are actually always with you. We just don't have the space to let them in to actually talk to us. And I say this with an abundance of love. We have monkey minds where our attention is always being diverted someplace else. So when we want to actually allow something new to come in, how do we even have the space for it to come in? When we want to start to connect to our guides and our higher self, how can we possibly do that if there's just like this white static noise going on in the background of our mind? Turn that white static noise machine off with meditation, and then you will actually start to hear what your guides are trying to say to you, what your higher self is trying to say to you. And then all of these other gifts and abilities that maybe you thought you've had, or maybe you have, but you're like, God damn it, why can't they come in? Then they will start to come in. So I am a big fan of meditation for that reason, especially if you really want to get acquainted with yourself, especially if you want to get acquainted with your gifts and abilities. Though the key to unlock that door is meditation. Okay, now the last thing that I also want to tell you about it is there is a particular binaural beats video on YouTube that I actually am a big fan of. And I'm going to link it down below as well. You can actually click it and see if it works for you. I am not a particular fan of guided meditations, although I have done them in the past. And I think if you are struggling with something and you're new to meditation, then a guided meditation can be very beneficial and very useful for you. But once you are on the other side where you are more comfortable having your own meditation, I don't like guided meditations for the reason that they're a little bit too restrictive with what will actually be able to come in. Because usually a guided meditation, that's exactly what it is. It's guided. But there is some place that the person that is guiding the meditation is taking you to go. And it's kind of like, here, I'll give you like an example, like where I live in Los Angeles. Let's say I want to get to the valley. So how am I going to get there? I'm going to get on the Highway 101 North to go into the valley, right? So that's with the intention I want to go into the valley. But let's say I just want to have like an exploratory day and I just want to see wherever I'm going to end up. Then I don't want to put on, for example, the GPS to take me to the 101 to go to the valley. I don't want to have any GPS on. I just want to see where I'm going to end up through the process of kind of like driving. So very much for that reason, I like to more set my own intention and then allow whatever comes through to amaze me and delight me. And for example, sometimes when I'm actually sitting down to meditate, I will ask to be shown magic. And I will keep it as vague as possible. I'll just say, show me magic. And then whatever comes through is going to be magical in one way or another. And it's going to be very magical and meaningful to me. So you can kind of create your own guided meditation with the intentionality that you set when you're sitting down to meditate. So that's why I'm personally not a fan. But, or I should say, and in addition to that, I have actually discovered as well, I don't like to meditate. I don't like to meditate without any music on. I like to have music. Some music competes too much with the thoughts that are in my mind, and it's confusing for me. So I have actually discovered this one great YouTube video. It works for me every single time. And in addition to it working every single time, that is kind of like been a metaphor for my guides. Like imagine I have a store and I go into the store and I turn the sign around on the front door that says closed to open. So through the process of this always being my consistent go-to meditation music, my guides now know when I put that on, Faye's shop is open for business, bring the goods. So that might work for you as well. I'm going to share that down below. You are welcome to check it out. And I would love to hear if this particular soundtrack works for you as well. So I think I'm going to stop the video there. I kind of feel like I've exhausted almost everything that I can, just shy of actually doing a guided meditation, which again can happen in the future. I am, keeping notes on all of the Sunday special topics that I'd like to explore with you guys. It's on there. But if you also know me, you know from the list that I keep of your guys' recommendations, I do actually take all of those down. But when they will actually be shared, it's just kind of like, when does it actually feel right? So I can have notes for months before I'll wake up and I'll be like, I'm being called to share this actual topic today. That's what we're going to be discussing. So if you would like a guided meditation, comment down below. Anything else that you would like to see for a Sunday special video, comment down below. And as always, I hope that you guys have found this video to be informative and helpful, maybe thought-provoking. Maybe you didn't like any of it, and that's okay too. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, even if it's just the soundtrack that I personally listen to that I know works for me. And until next time, stay in the high vibration.